welcome to this Mark's Reviews and Tutorials video. Today I'm going to show you how to do some repairs on a chainsaw. This guy here, it's just a cheap Chinese one. Giants is the brand, Giantz. I will do a review on this. I haven't done it yet. It won't be a good review, unfortunately. They haven't used good enough materials on it. I've had a Chinese chainsaw before. I've been using this one with my work, and it's failed pretty miserably. The chain, really good, no problem at all. It stayed nice and sharp and done a heap of work. But the actual blade itself, if you look here, you'll see it's all collapsed and gone up on an edge down here. This material they've used in the bar is way too soft. So I said I bought a Chinese saw before. I don't know what brand it was, unfortunately, I don't remember it, but it said that it had another brand of bar, like a genuine better brand, and that would be something to look out for if you're going to buy a Chinese saw. This has also had issues with the motor. Fair enough, they gave me money back when it wasn't running too well and the blade gave out, but sadly it wasn't a good enough quality saw. This was sold as commercial grade, awesome quality, and it's just a very cheap China one. So anyway, I'm just going to go through the repairs. What we're going to do, I've just got a job to finish off with this saw. I'm actually going to get the angle grinder and grind away that edge where it's sticking out, because obviously that's going to get in the way as we're trying to cut through anything from here on in. So I'm just going to knock that back flat again to grind that down. I'm going to reverse the bar, tip it upside down so that the wear edge is reversed. So where it is worn, it's not going to get any worse. And I'm going to sharpen the chain. Okay, so I'm going to reverse the bar to start off with. So that is just a matter of the two nuts here that you're undoing when you're tensioning the chain. We're just going to start off by undoing those. Now again, I'm using my socket set on this. It's a 1/2 inch socket. Was the best on these size, a 13mm, but 1/2 inch actually fitted a little bit better. Just undoing both those. I'm going to take those bolts right the way off and take the cover off in order to take the whole assembly apart. This did come with a little tube spanner for undoing these bolts, but again it was just such poor quality. All it was doing was stripping the nuts and not working, so I'm not able to use that, unfortunately. It's already in the bin. So yeah, sad story. I wanted to buy a saw and then I don't use it that often in my handyman work, but I do use it from time to time. And this one is struggling to even see the one job out. So, not recommending this brand. There you go. Put it under that edge. Yeah, that makes it nice and easy. Just lifting that straight out. There's a bit of a clutch system back here, which is just a friction fit over the top. There we go. You can see she's pretty clogged. I wasn't at all happy with the bar oil that I was using. I was actually given some, and I don't think it was much chop, but this was used on some fibrous material as well, and it's obviously clearly clogged this right up. Anyway, all that aside, what we want to do, just lifting the chain up. As you can see there, the bar's moving around freely. So we're going to lift that chain off the bar, getting it right off and out. There you go. So now I'm going to give all of that a clean up, and then when I put the bar back on, I'll turn it over. But now we can see here along this edge where the damage is here, where it's all raised up, and there's quite a dip in there, which is just atrocious. It shouldn't be. See this, there's a spiral in the end here for the chain to spin on that drives around, and it's just flicking the chain too hard, and if you have a look there, it's really pulled that right in. So anyway, we'll clean it up, finish off the job with this, and then buy another chainsaw next time I need one for another job. But that's actually on this bottom edge, that's right the way along. I can feel a bit of a lip, so we'll just clean that up right the way along with the angle grinder. Give all of this a clean here. You see, cutting fibrous plants was not a good idea. Goodness me, didn't realise how bad not a good idea it was. Take the chain right out, comes off there. open up the air cleaner. There'll be a knob always somewhere on your chainsaw, and as you can see, there's just an amazing amount of stuff there. But we'll also check how the air cleaner's doing. Yeah, it looks good. We'll give it a bang out, but doesn't look super strong, but it's not dirty, and it hasn't stopped the dirt from getting in there either. Yeah, okay. This was cheap for a reason, this guy. Alright, so I'll give it all a good clean up, put it all back together. The spark plug is under here. Okay, so we'll actually rip that out and have a look at it just while we're giving it all a good service. So none of my 3 spark plug spanners will fit this spark plug. So I'm just trying to force a ring spanner on it, and I've managed to get it and crack it off. There we go. Really tight. I'm afraid it's just lacking design and construction, this thing. Yeah, it's not great, is it? It's very, very black, the spark plug, so I'll give that a bit of a clean up. So we've got all that cleaned up now. I've tightened up the spark plug again. Put the cap, that needs to go right the way home to get a good spark, and that's a little dust cover. Keep all the muck and stuff out. Here's the air cleaner. That's good. That's sitting down. Goes on top. Cap goes up on top of that. Sitting down like that. There we go. Okay, screw that down. So, as I said, I'm going to just take that high edge off now. It's really big at the front of the bar, and not so much at the back, but I'm just going to grind it off. So angle grinder, gloves, safety glasses, and this should be clamped down, but we'll see how easy it comes off. No more ridge. Now I didn't press hard, I didn't want it to get hot, and I didn't want to press it down because we have to keep this gap staying open, but that ridge is now fully gone on both sides. So to compensate for the wear, I'm going to reverse the bar now, which all chainsaw bars are reversible, well, all I know of, and put him back together and then sharpen up the chain. I'm going to lean this over a bit and put this back on. It needs to go under this clutch thing and over the bolt holes like that. Sort our chain out and get it on. And the chain, the bit that looks like a choo-choo train along here, that's actually the way it runs, and this is the cutting edge here. This is the bit we've got to sharpen. So it looks like a train with the cabin and the chimney at the front. That is actually the direction that the chain runs to cut over the top and then back towards the saw. So we'll put that blade on, the chain on, all sitting beautiful, and there's a chain here which drives. There we go, that's dropped into position nicely. So I got it in the nozzle point first, bring it around, there we go, pulling that up. So that chain is now positioned back on. Now it's a matter of putting this cover over the top and bolting it back up again. This is actually a chain brake, and it's been activated. So we need to release that. Here we go. Just knock it back. That then opens this up so that that will fit over that assembly. That's better. Now it sits down and goes over. We do up our bolts. Now the chain adjusting system is here with this screw here which adjusts this up and down. So we will have to back that off so that it's loose, because it's fully tight at the moment. You see that little pin is moving back as I do that, like that, and it goes into this hole here, and it can then pull the chain backwards and forwards. That's how it sets the tension on the chain and keeps it all tight. So when you're putting this all back together, it's a matter of lining up this spring over that, 2 bolt holes, and you also have to drop that into that adjustment hole right there. That's it, it's going right into the correct slot now. So that's good. So open up the bolts. Just doing those up by hand with the socket off the spindle. While it's loose here, we can use the little screwdriver in the front to pull this chain tight again, and that will then be ready to sharpen up the chain. I'll show you in another video how to sharpen the chain, but that's now with that ground off black flat again, and this has just had a bit of a check over, then she'll be ready to go out and use again.